Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today at our very first appointment dedicated to our international customers. I'm Cristina Carini, Workful Program and FAO Account Manager at SPS, and together with my colleague Elisa Falchieri, I'm pleased to introduce you to the theme of this event. This new English language webinar project is consistent with our lifelong goal. After 20 years, keeping on growing by supporting customers interested in data analysis and SPSS technology. Today's goal is to give you an overview of statistics for data analysis solution, as well as a comprehensive view of what we have developed over the years and what we'll continue to do with your insight. In fact, the idea for today's topic came from the survey we submitted to you in late 2021, and we are very grateful for it. First, I want to devote a few minutes to SPS as a firm. SPS was founded in 1994 and has been active in the world of statistical analysis and SPS technology ever since. We are a gold business partner of IBM and a certified entity to give direct support to our customers on SPSS. At SPS, we take care of our customers from assessing the need for analysis to choosing the most suitable statistics for data analysis solution to training on its use. We collaborate with the university, foundation, research center, company, and so on. Today, we discuss our statistics for data analysis powered by SPSS solution as a value solution that it is. One that can give you user more support in their daily activity. But what does this mean? Why do we talk about a solution? Statistics for data analysis combines, along with SPSS statistical engine, our experience, our expertise in the world of statistical analysis. In addition to supporting our customers directly in case of difficulties with the SPS service program, we sought tools that allow us to share our knowledge. Those add-ons were born. What are add-ons? Add-ons are additional features built in natively, strengthening the tool, which my colleague Elisa will show you directly in a moment. Add-ons are downloaded automatically when you download LaunchBox. LaunchBox is indeed the gateway to the statistics world. In the LaunchBox, in a dedicated section, you also see the calendar dates of the webinars, with direct links to register for the live event, as today. In case of interest, recording of the appointment will be available in the client area, reserved for you. In this area, also available, is a form for submitting methodological questions, which will be answered by our support staff. From the LaunchBox, you find some additional tools, such as the Data Access Pack and License Manager for managing concurrent architecture of SPSS statistics, and the user manual in English mother tongue, of course. From the LaunchBox, you can activate the last 3 versions of SPSS available. Statistics for Data Analysis is a solution that combines software capability and our experience of a quarter of a century. Thanks to our expertise and ongoing dialogue with our customers, a few years ago, we proposed our own statistics for data analysis configuration designed to directly address the analysis need of different fields, such as socioeconomic, healthy, environmental. Following this logic, we also have online classes. In recent years, we have strengthened our course offering and would love to become your partner for training on SPS as well. At this point, I will give the floor to Elisa for the core of our meeting. If you have any question, please write in the question and answer area, and we will try to answer at the end of the appointment. Okay. Elisa, I will give you the role.
Thank you,
Have
Christina.
a nice webinar.
Fantastic, yeah. Good morning to everybody. I'm Christina teammates, and and now we share my screen so we can go on with our webinar. Just a minute so I can share my screen. And and hide this part that we are not interested. And here we are. And now, as said by Christina, we talk about our statistics for data analysis solution this morning. And at the beginning, we talk about our LaunchBox. LaunchBox is the gateway to the statistics for data analysis solution powered by SPSS statistics. But let me go to the LaunchBox at work, and this is our procedure where we can launch the software with this button, and we can launch the software not only in the latest version 28 but also in 27 or 26. And here in the dashboard we find a variety of information that is always up to date, such as, for example, the webinar events. For example, the next webinar is on 22 Jan, as anticipated by Christina. And then here we have a lot of our add-on, as talked by Christina. In the Add-ons section, in fact, we find all the models created by SPS, by our team, often thanks to specific requests from our clients. And these add-ons are useful for speeding up daily work and automating certain procedures, and creating analysis and charts available only with our solution. And then we have also these additional tools, for example, the license manager or the license authorization wizard. But furthermore, we have also the manuals, with all manuals about all our modules. But let me move to our slide. As we have just seen in at work with LaunchBox, we see our additional feature, our add-on, and these add-ons are created for speeding up and automating some procedures. And in fact, in our webinar, we will see some example about these add-ons. For example, we will see some example about split strings add-on or automatic ID or Addons, and shortly we will see some example about it. But these add-ons are integrating in the menu, as we will see in a few minutes, and they are created to facilitate, to automate your daily work. But by the way, let's look at how statistics for data analysis is structured before give an example with our add-on. And so we move to our, here we are. And so we move to our solution, statistics for data analysis, and upon opening it, feels like being inside a spreadsheet, like Excel, but the differences are several. In fact, in statistics for data analysis, we have data for rows, and we have variable for columns. And moreover, we have to view data, that is this editor, where we can put manually some variable that are numeric variable, or string variable, or data variable, what you want. And then here we have two views. This one, that is data, and the last one, that is variable view. And in the variable view, we can personalize the variable. For example, we can personalize the name or the type of variable. In fact, we can have a numeric variable or comma variable, date, string, what you want. And then we can, at the top of our statistics for data analysis software, we have a toolbar that is divided into file menu, where we can open or import a file. And in fact, that statistics for data analysis is an open software in both import and export phases. Then we have data and transform menu. In data menu in particular, we have a lot of our add-ons. And for example, we have split random, remove duplicates, a lot of our add-ons, because data preparation phases is very long. Is a phases where most labor-intensive phases when conducting a statistical analysis project. In fact, this phase usually takes away around 70 to 80% of the time required to conduct an entire analysis. And this is the reason because here we have a lot of our add-ons, because the goals of our add-ons is also to speeding up and automate some procedures and don't waste time. And then here in our toolbars, we have also the analysis menu. The analyze menu has all the advanced analysis, including regression, GM, correlate, log linear, classify, and so on. But in this menu, we have also some of our add-ons too. For example, the simple sample base, the index student, the p-score, and so on. Not only because we have also some our add-ons in the graphs menu. The graphs menu, we have the SPVs chart, ladder plot. One of these we are seeing it shortly. And then here we have also the chart builder. That is a tool to build and customize many charts. But it isn't enough, because we have here some our add-ons about some graphs. But then let's look and import from Excel. And in fact, before I would resume what we see at work with some slide, and then in fact we go ahead with an import, data import, and then we will see shortly an import from Excel, and we will see some of our add-on. In particular, we will see at work the automatic ID and the add-on ID. Well, let's look them at work. But before, let's shortly look at our Excel file. In our file, we have 3 folders, but we are interested only in this table, only to the data that are inside cell B5, from cell B5 to cell E25. How can we do this import? It's very easy, because we can open. We don't import an Excel file. We can open it. And not only we can open not only Excel file, but a lot of formats. In fact, here we are. We can import CSV file, text file, SAS file, data file, and so on. But now we are interested in Excel file, and then we need to import the DGN file, and not only, because as we saw some minutes ago, we need to import the data that are in a worksheet diet. And we need to import data from cell B5 to cell E25. We will need to import all our data, and so we run our data. And here we are. That's all. And now, as we anticipated at the beginning, as we can see, here we have some data about it's not important, but it is an example about the data of blood pressure detection before diet of monitored patients. But it is I said this only because here we are at the date before this diet. Suppose we need the date variable after the diet. How can we do? With the solution, and only with the solution, we can do it with our add-on in a quickly and easy way, because we have this add-on, this add-on, where we can put the date before diet, and then we can choose the number of days to add. We can choose all the number of dates we need. For example, 90, 65, 40 is not important because we can choose this number. And then we can choose the name of the new variable. For example, date after diet. And that's all. We have it. In a few moments, in a few seconds, in only one step. And we can put it near the date before diet with the mouse. It's very easy. And then, as we anticipate in our slide, we need, for example, suppose that we need an ID variable. The ID variable is critical for some analysis. For example, is important, is necessary for structuring the source file, but not only, because it is necessary, for example, also for some analysis. For example, it is necessary for the propensity score matching. That is the add-on that my teammate Christina anticipated, mentioned at the beginning of this presentation. As you can see here, we need the ID variable. And how can we create this variable? It is, but it is only with our solution. And in fact, we have here the automatic ID, but we only recall this dialog box. And that's all. We don't need anything else. We can run it, and then here we are, this variable. If we haven't the solution, we need to write some syntax rules. We need a language to create this variable, but with the solution, in a moment, in a second, we have it. And then let me move to our slide. As we can see, as we have just seen, we have talked about some of our add-on. We import an Excel file, and now at the next step we would import a text file. And so let's move again to our solution, and we would import, not open with this example, but import a data. We need to import a text data. We will see the step we quickly show this step. We open it, and now statistics is reading all the data inside it. We have a text format file where the variables are delimited, and are delimited at the beginning. We have the name of our variable, and then the delimiters of our variable are only the tabulation, so we select only this, and then we go at the end of this dialog box, because we want to import our file. And that's all, because here are the file that we import with this example. And so we import this file, and where we have information about African population, but we are going to talk about the files shortly with the support of our slide. Now here we would see this variable. We want to concentrate in this variable location because it's composed of two parts. It is a large geographical area. As you can see, there is eastern area, but there are also western area, and in middle, northern, and near this large area, there are the regions: Burundi, Eritrea, Ethiopia, South Africa, and so on. And the goal with this variable is to split this only one variable in two variables. We need to separate it. And how we can do? We have our solution, so we have the add-on split strings. We choose the location, and then we enter the split cursor that in our example is a hyphen, and then we need to choose the number of output variable. There are two, only two, and then that's all. And here we are, the location 1 and 2. That we can put, for example, another name of the variable. This is the country, and the other one is the region. And then we should go ahead with the data preparation phase. But let me move to our slide, and so we can resume some of our procedures. We have just seen a split string add-on with which we split in two variables, the only one variable that we have at the beginning. And then we go ahead with the data descriptive analysis. But before go ahead with the analysis phase, we need to talk about the data preparation file, because at this point we need to skip some data preparation steps, which we go over in part with this slide, where we show some steps. And in fact, as we can see, we have just seen a part of this data preparation, because all of the add-on that we have just seen before, we have already seen before, the split string, the add-on days, the add days, the automatic ID, is part of this phase. But the statistics of data analysis software have a lot of procedures for this phase. In fact, for example, we can record nominal variable into categorical variable, or we can have automatic categorical variable from numeric variable, and so on. But as we said at the beginning, this phase is very long, is usually take away a lot of time to conduct an entire analysis. And we would show you a a part of descriptive analysis, of analysis phase. And so we go ahead with our file, and we talk about file, an example where we have just done the manage phase. And so we talk about this Africa population file where we have downloaded, as you can see, we have downloaded this file by the website United Nations, in particular from the Department of Economic and Social Affairs, and we from this site we extract in particular the population density, as you can see here in this example, the population density, that is person per square kilometers, according to age and sex for each location. And we concentrated also on the number of deaths based on age and sex. And the period of this extraction is from 2015 to 2020 for the same African location. So now we talk about the data analysis, the descriptive data analysis. But for this part, we move to our software and we open the clear file, the file that we have just seen in our slide, but we see it at work with our statistics for data analysis solution. And then let's look at a quick first example. So we can go to our Analyze menu, and we open the table dialog box. This is our dialog box where we can put with the mouse, because it is a drag and drop procedure, the variable. And in fact, we can take the region, the African region, and we can put them by rows, and then we can take the African population and we can put them by columns. And then, just for show, we can go ahead in a new environment. And in fact, we have this in our output. And then we can go ahead, we can continue in our exploration, and you see, you can recall the custom table, and you see how from the dialog box of the custom tables, the category variable, for example, the region variable, you can see all the categories in this part of dialog box, but not only, because we have also this button, the categories and tables, and total, sorry. With this button, we can open a new dialog box where we can add or exclude some categories. And then we can put, for example, the total. We can apply all our personalization. And if you select the population, that is a numeric variable, you can have the summary statistic button, where by default you have the mean, but you can choose a lot of statistics. For example, the row percent, the column percent, but only a subtotal, a sum, a mean, and you can choose some of these. You can choose, for example, mean, sum, but it's not important. You can choose what you want in these statistics, and you can apply the selection and close the dialog box, and you can see in the dialog box of the table that there is you can see what the table what we have. We will have the table in the output, and then not only because we can have two views. This is a normal view, but we can have also a compact view. A compact view where, for example, we can add another information. For example, we can put the range of age above the population by columns. And so we can see the large, very large table in our output. And here we can we can open the editor. In the editor, we can personalize all cells. We can personalize the area formats, the bar, the borders, the cells, and so on. But not only because, for example, we can select some of these a selection. We can select an area, a specific area in the table, and from this selection we can create a bar graph, a line, area, pie. We create a graph from this table. We don't need to go to the editor and recall the graph by menus. We can choose a selection from our tables. We are ready. We can close the editor, and here we are the the graphs that we recall from a specific selection of this large table. But with this mode, we can create charts only from a selection of data. But continuous development of new add-ons together with collaboration with our customer have enabled us to develop a chart that summarizes data from an entire tables. Let's take an example. Well, we can recall, as you can see, I recall the custom table from the toolbar, and we can reset it with our table, and then we need to choose the correct file, and this is, then we can recall this, we can recall the custom table, we can reset it, and then we can put the range of age by column. And then by row, we can put the country, the African country, and we nested for the number of deaths. And just it. And that's all. And this is our table. At this moment, we can feature this tabular representation graphically with the RSVP graph add-on. And in fact, at all this data, we would represent all this data. And in fact, we can take the RSVP charts where we put the range of age in X variable and define bars by country, African country, and in value we want the number of deaths. And that's all. And we have here the representation, the graphical representation. In fact, if we go in the editor of the graph and put some labels, we put and here we are. We should put the SP file where we put the X variable age, range of age, the 5 bar by country, and the number of deaths, and this is our representation. We need to take the same variable, and then we can put the labels on these graphs. We put some of these, and here we are. We move to the output, and here we are. We have the same representation. As you can see, we have here 25.41 and the same in the table, 25.41, and here 20.303, 20.03 are the same. We have the same representation for this with this feature, with this procedure, this tabular representation. We have the same representation for all the data that are inside the table with this graphical representation. And then just a moment, so we can move to our slide, and as we have just seen in our at work with the solution, we have just seen the output where there are all our results of the analysis, graphs, and table and so on, and there are the descriptive analysis that we have just done, and with the representation of the RSVP charts add-on, where all values inside the table are the same value inside the graph. Well, I think that we are just about to reach the end. But before handing over to the conclusion with Christina, I would share with you this last slide. With this, we want to talk, and we would thanks all our customers who collaborated with us, And we would ask you to keep sending us your request, which help us to add new add-on. That is new procedures or the function for speeding up and automate our daily work. And now, now I give the floor to Christina.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much. During your speech, we have received some questions, and I read you only two because, in my opinion, the answer could be quite quickly for the time that we set for our meeting on today. To the other question, we will answer via email after the end of the appointment. Okay.
Yes, please.
The first one. How can we do if we need to divide a data set? For example, if we would separate the data set into files, one for females and another one for males, is there a way?
Oh yeah. Well. So sure I can. It's an interesting question, and I think that we can show it with our example. Yes, with our data set. Why not? Because in our data set we didn't use it in our example, but we have a sex variable with female and male, and this is a categorical variable. And in fact, if we move to variable view, we can see the metadata, because there are the value 1 for female, the value 2 for male. Oh, and I can also show you that with statistical data analysis, we have all metadata, because we can show the value in this way, but also the number. And this is an interesting information. And I show it because it is interesting also for this question, because for split a data set, we can use one of our add-on. In particular, we can choose the file division. Yeah, the file division, where we can put sex for numeric, and we can choose where we would put these. We can save this data set. I save here, and then we can run this dialog box, this add-on, this procedure. And as you can see, if I took here we are. I put it in my folders, in these my folders, and we have 1 and 2. There are new file, new data set. And in fact, if we open the number 1, we have a data set only for female. And if we take the other one, the 2 files, we have a data set. We open a data set only for the male. In this way, we have 2 new data sets, the data set for the male and the data set for the female, automatically. And this add-on help us to speeding up the analysis. And so I think to answer the question, Christina.
Yes, it is very well.
There are another question.
Yes, the last one.
Okay.
Is there a search functionality in statistics? How can I do to search for analysis or a specific functionality?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it's a very interesting question because we have. So I took this here. We have this functionality in this button. Furthermore, the search functionality is enhanced in Statistics 28 in the latest version. This search button that is in the upper right corner of Statistics for Data Analysis, with this we can search what we want. For example, if we search how can we split, because we have just done an example about it, and so I remember it. And if you search this word, as you can see, we have a lot of information. And we have a lot of information, for example, where we can find the split procedures in the menu dialogues, but also we have help topics and so on. And as you can see, we have also our add-on with our with this procedure, with this split procedure. For example, the add-on that we have already seen in our webinar, today webinar, and also we have another one, another of our add-on, and if we select with the mouse these rows, the split random files, we can open automatically the split random file dialog box. And I think it is an important function of latest version where we can, for example, this is a split random file, another add-on where we can have two random files from one, for example, for this one. I think it is an important new enhance in latest version. And that's all. Christina, I think to just answer to this question too.
Thank you, Elisa.
It's you.
We have received another one, and I give you a quick answer by myself, because the participating ask us about add-ons and the LaunchBox, where they could find them. And we are sending LaunchBox to our international clients in these days. And so you are receiving the email with the link for downloading. And it's not free, it's inside our solution Statistics for Data Analysis. And so all our customers are receiving it. And what else? To the other question, we will answer via email in the next days. Thank you for your attention. I take only a few minutes to give you some other information. The next scheduled webinar will be on June the 22nd, and it will be dedicated to how to prepare data obtained through a survey. Other dates will be added after the summer period, and as a reminder, webinar recording will be available on demand in the customer area. Okay, sorry. Okay. And will soon be viewable too on mobile via Statistics for Data Analysis app that is coming soon. In the app, you will find a tips and tricks area with some suggestion for speeding up your statistics for data analysis daily use too. And we hope that you will find interesting. If you have any suggestion for premium modules, as already said by Elisa, or for other webinar or add-ons tools to add to our solution, please write us to our colleague of training or marketing staff. You will receive a survey in order to give us your feedback about the appointment of today. You know, your opinion is crucial, and so please fill the information that you will find. A recording of the appointment will be available in the customer area, and if you need the slide too, please write me and I will send you. The positive experience of the last 2 years of online courses and training on the job has supplied good results. For this reason, we would be happy to share with you our expertise in this field too. To evaluate this possibility or to have other information or what you need, contact me anytime. Thank you for your attention. Thank you to Elisa for your speech. And have a nice day.
Thank you. Thanks ever so much, and have a nice day for me too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.